been a minute since I've done a talking video with you guys. I know I tend to close my videos with "we'll talk soon," but I guess that's a promise I bailed on for a little while. Just having some health stuff that I've had a little bit of a struggle bouncing back from, I guess, with all the autoimmune weirdness I got in my body. Every so often, my body will go through a real hard dip, and I'll have to figure out how to adjust to the new normal of those symptoms, and figuring out how to uniquely balance out my body again so I can kind of come back. It's just all part of the process of, treatable, not curable conditions, but I've been doing a little bit better the last few days. I feel like this is dragged out for months. But yeah, the last few days or so, yesterday was a little bit of a dip again because we had storms come in, and that affects joint and muscle conditions typically. But aside from that, the last couple days I've gotten halfway decent sleep. I feel like I've gotten a little bit of my energy back. So I figured I would ride that high and film a little bit of a talking video since it's been a little bit. So I have a 6-pack variety pack canvas collection to show you from DOTSO company. Found these on Amazon. Before I get into that, I thought I would just give you a quick little update. Last night I started working on this. This is Curious Badger from Dreamer Designs. I mentioned in a community post, I gotta figure out someplace to stick this for a second. Okay. I had mentioned in a community post that I thought it was about time that I did a little bit of a mascot type canvas for my work area. I don't collect like all the badger canvases, but whenever I see one that's especially cute, I tend to pick them up since, it is sort of the channel animal. Well, not sort of, it's in the title. But yeah, at this point I've collected, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of them. Haven't done any of them, so I thought I would jump in on Curious Badger. Technically, the name of the channel is Honey Badger, but honey badgers specifically, they look different from this kind of badger. This is more of like the traditional badger. Honey badgers tend to have more of the coloring completely on their face. Typical badgers tend to look a little bit more like skunks, but badger is a badger, since honey badgers are a little bit harder to find diamond art wise. Anyway, I thought I would just show you a quick little update where I am on this. I just started it last night and I'm not too far into it. I've basically just done a little bit of the snow and some of the water reflection. A lot of color blocking on this, so it shouldn't take forever long to get through it, and it is in rounds, which is nice for the premium companies to start doing rounds a little bit more. It helps make it go a little bit faster, even on the larger canvases. So yeah, pretty much did a little bit of this blue-gray color in the snow area, and then in the snow, there's no ABs as far as I can tell plotted in the actual snow as far as the way Dreamer Designs craft it, but I went back in and added my own sprinkling of ABs. I didn't put it all over the place, but every so often if there's a little corner or something I feel could use a little bit of extra sparkle, I've been dusting some of my own white ABs in there little by little. So yeah, that's the section I'm working on right now, is doing this reflection here in the water. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a change on the badger coloring. The plotting was for, what was it, 3865 white, that soft white, which I've been doing in the snow, but I think it's not plotted in this, I don't think, but I think with the badger, just this stripe on his nose, I'm going to go in with 5200 and just kind of break that up from the other snow areas. So that's basically all I have done on that. But yeah, thought I would show you a little peek of that real quick. There's not a whole lot to see on it right now. It's pretty much just stripes of white and this bluish gray color. So it's not terribly exciting at the moment, but that's what I've been working on. All right, getting into the 6-pack here. So yeah, this is a Amazon find. This is from DOTSO company. I got another one of their packages as well that's like beach themed, like beach vacation, pier, village type theme from the same company, but I'll do that in a separate video. Since we're talking about a 6-pack here, and if I do 2 6-packs in one video, it'll be, I don't know, maybe too long. I figure I can get a little bit better detail if I do this one variety pack at a time. Okay, so this might not be to everybody's taste, but I thought it was cute. And I'm the one doing them, so that's what counts, right? So this is skull artwork themed, but I thought these were really interesting and unique because they're all in sort of travel poster art style. When you have like travel poster, movie poster, or something like that, it's all in that type of art theme, but they all feature skeleton characters. So once I get into them, you'll see what I mean. So I'm just gonna dive into one here. And right now, I checked it earlier today, and right now this particular set is going for about 20 bucks for the 6 of these. Alright, so the first one I opened up was Phantom Squadron. Let's see if I can lift up just a little bit. Okay. So you see they're not all military themed. A couple of them are. One is sort of western-y, and then, 2 of them are western, and then a couple other ones in here. So a nice interesting mix if you want to do these as gifts for people. See, it says, and all the lettering looks great on these, at least this first one I opened. So it says Phantom Squadron at the top, and then Squadron again at the bottom. It's a Squadron. That is hard to say doubly. Squadron. Ow. Alright, so let's see. There's a little star on the wing there. So these are old school, like World War II style planes with the little, well, I was going to say leather helmet, but that doesn't look particularly leather. It looks like it might have like leather straps over here, but metal helmet. I'm not sure what that is in the back. It might be a ship. It doesn't look like another plane. I'm not quite sure what that is. Hold on. Let me pull up the image real quick. See if I can tell better. No, I think it is a ship. I'll put up an image on screen of what the package, the 6-pack looks like, not as diamond art, but as the actual art, and you can see what I'm talking about. It looks like this is a ship out in the distance, and then these are clouds here, and he's kind of like tilted in the clouds. So this is, art-wise, perspective-wise, this is actually a lot further away than it looks. So yeah, I think that's a ship in the background. And then you have a circle of flowers around the propeller, which flying-wise, probably not advisable, but it looks cool. So 22 colors in this altogether. These are all 30 by 40 size. And I don't think, I mean, I'll have to look, but I think for the most part, these aren't too crazy as far as confetti. I mean, there'll probably be a little bit of confetti, but overall, I think they're pretty clear-cut images. So that's Phantom Squadron. Don't know when I'll be getting to these as far as working on them, because I'm kind of in large canvas mode right now. Alright, next one. Okay, this is the Western one, or one of the Western ones. Oh, I didn't show you the color range on the other one. Hold on, I'm a little out of practice doing this. Alright, real quick on Phantom Squadron, I'll show you the color selection, since these all have their own different color packs. All right, and then into the Western ones, we have, see what I mean about like it's like a travel poster? So you have Dead Man's Gulch. Got some bullet casings down here, and then some broken ground there, some cactus in the back. Again, has the same flowers on here as it was on the plane. I don't know if that's a recurring theme in these. This one is 22 colors. I also like how all of these, I think all of them have sort of a border style around them, which I don't know, kind of gives it a nice finished look. So that's Dead Man's Gulch. And then the other Western one, let's see. I think this was sort of, yeah, I was going to say, I think this is Western style. This one I thought was a special. I didn't show you the colors on that one either. My goodness, I am out of practice. Okay, here we go. This is the colors for Dead Man's Gulch. Oh, the way this was shining for a second, I thought that was an AB. I was like, that's unique, but no, it's just standard drills. Those are fun colors together, though. All right, so that's the color pack for Dead Man's Gulch. And then I thought this one was especially cute. It's kind of almost like a Coke advertisement, but a skeleton. But see, he's got like the Coke style bottle, but if he's Western, I guess it'd probably be more sarsaparilla, which is, if you never had sarsaparilla, it's essentially pretty much like a root beer, or if you're in the southern area, it's kind of in the vein of cheerwine a little bit. People not from the South might be like, what the hell's cheerwine? It's basically if you took Dr. Pepper and just dumped a butt ton of cherry syrup in it, essentially, is the easy way I could describe it. Because it's a unique flavor. It's not quite Dr. Pepper. It's not quite Coke. It's unique to itself. But that's the closest kind of idea I could give you as to what it's like. Is it, yeah, if you took like a whole big jug of like cherry syrup from an ice cream shop, ice cream parlor or whatever, and then just dumped it into a bunch of Dr. Pepper, you'd get kind of close to cheerwine. It is really good. I know I'm not sounding like I'm selling it very well, but it is really nice. And it is very typical to find it out here, at least in the Carolinas. So that, I don't know, and it feels a little bit more Westerny as far as like cheerwine or sarsaparilla or sarsaparilla, depending on where you're speaking from. So yeah, this is Refresh the Spirits. There's a little desert Coke. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's Mexican Coke, so it has the actual real sugar in it. That used to be a thing when I was growing up in California. Is if you go to taco places and you ask to see if they have like the standard Coke or the what we called the Mexican Coke, but it just means that they didn't take out the real sugar out of it. So yeah, 22 colors again. These might all be 22 colors for all I know. I don't know. But again, text is really nice, easy to see for a 30 by 40. Not too many tiny details in these as far as I can tell so far. There is one in here that's a little bit, it looks like it's got a little bit of a sugar skull design around the edge. I'll show you in a minute. That one might be a little bit confetti, but so far it doesn't look like there's too many tiny details you got to worry about getting sort of diluted, I guess. So yeah, I thought that one was fun. Color pack on this one. As you can tell, a whole bunch of reds and oranges and yellows. So yeah, I just thought these designs were fun. If you're new to the channel and you might be thinking, oh gosh, she's into all the weird dark stuff, because I do hear that. Not specifically directed at me, but I do hear that sometimes in the diamond painting community. If people are doing like skull art or something, you hear from some of the more conservative people in the community, I don't like that demon stuff. I don't know. I don't mind skull artwork. I kind of like the Gothic romantic style where it's like, you know, the just the typical standard style skull with like flowers around it. I like sugar skull style. I like sort of the cutesy jokey type skeletons. I'll do those every so often. I like your Halloween skeletons that are sort of dancing around and looking fun. I like those. As far as like the super dark skeletons, the super graphic, kind of more like grotesque looking horror style ones, that's not really my thing. I'm not offended if other people do them. Just saying it's not a art style I'm particularly drawn to. If there's like a bunch of like blood and stakes and, you know, horror stuff coming out of the eyeballs and stuff, that's not really my thing. I like this style that's a little bit more calm or a little bit more jokesy kind of thing when it comes to skull artwork. All right, so this one is again in the like World War II style. This one says "Fly with the Dead." Another one of the old school planes. This must be like a thing they're doing. It is very reminiscent of Day of the Dead. In Latin culture, sugar skull artwork, there are a lot of like incorporations of marigolds and other types of orange flowers. So that could be what's going on with all that. But that does seem to be a continuation in all of these so far, is like the presence of the orange flowers. These especially, it's hard to tell for sure about the artwork again. They look sort of marigold or carnation-like. The detail is a little bit hard to tell for certain, but something like that. Sorry, I got the camera post here that I'm trying to work around. I thought that was kind of a cool emblem on the jacket with the wings. Got the flowers on the plane again. This one has 24 colors. One thing I'm noticing on these is there's little details in the corners of these. Like the other World War II plane had like little bullseye designs in the corners. This one has stars. I thought that was fun. So let's Fly with the Dead. And then the color combinations on these. Two more here. Okay, and then these ones are the ones that have the sugar skull style. So there's going to be a little bit more confetti work in these last two, but I still think they're going to look fine from what I can tell. All right, so this one is sort of circus themed. This one says Thrill Afterlife. So you got like a little skeleton tiger there. And then the skeleton ringmaster guy. And then you have all of these sugar skull style faces and lanterns hanging down. Although these ones look a little bit more like Chinese paper lanterns, which is interesting. I mean, those are used sometimes in Mexican decoration. But especially with like the tails hanging down, those look especially kind of more Asian themed. So yeah, unique design there. There's also like some scroll work with the, what'd you call it? See here, it looks like the garland, or you know, what the lanterns are hanging off of, but it also kind of works into this scroll border around the edge. So I don't know, whenever I get to this one, I may do something where around the corners here, I may use some, I don't know, like yellow crystal or gold ABs, something like that. These don't come with any ABs, but I may do that just to bring out those corners a little bit and frame that out a little bit more. I don't know. Might play around with that. This one is back to the 22 colors. But yeah, I'll give you a close-up here. Even on the lanterns, it doesn't look too bad. This one here might be a little bit messy looking at first to the eye, but it's not too awful. Like, you can tell what everything is. So that's the Real Afterlife. And then the very last one is a boxing themed one. Maybe, if I can figure out the packaging. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this one just says Champion at the top. More sugar skulls. And more, I'm forgetting the name of these flags. My brain is thinking of like Tibetan prayer flags, which that's not what this is. These are, I can't remember the name for them, but they're basically paper, still kind of like flag-like, little paper flappies that they make garland out of, and there's like patterns that are punched into these as decor. So there, yeah, it's also tied to Day of the Dead type decor. And then the lanterns again. And let's see what else. I'm not sure what this thing is. Let me look at the art again. It looks like it's just some sort of heart decoration there. And then this looks like some more flowers in the border. The yellow flowers again down here. And then a giant skull. And then the boxer guy. The gloves and the champion belt. And this one is 22 colors. So it looks like they all might be 22 colors except for that one, this one. Fly with the Dead was 24, but it looks like everything else is 22 colors. And then the color pack for this one. Let's see if I can get a little bit more light. I don't know if that helped too much. So yeah, there you go. I forget what I was calling this. It's one of those ones that's not really given a name online. They just call it Skull Diamond Paintings for Adults on Amazon. So I'll give it some kind of title just so it makes a more interesting clickable thumbnail instead of like a long ass advertising thing like they tend to do on Shein or something. Yeah, I'll give it some cutesy little name so it's easier to determine, I guess, in my collection. But yeah, I'll link this down below if you're interested. And then pretty soon I will do the other DOTSO one I got that's not skull at all. It's very like, what is the name? What was it? Atlantic Beach? I think that's it. Atlantic Shore, something like that. There's one of the image. Well, I mean, I have the listing right here. I could go look it up. Huh? Give me just a second. What is the name of that beach city? One of the canvases in the other pack. Hold on, my computer is deciding to freak out on me for a second. Why are you freaking out? Oh my God, stop it. I would tell the computer it has one job, but it has a little bit more than that. What the heck is this pack? Why are you being difficult? I'm filming. Atlantic Beach, that's the name of it. I'll give you a little preview. I'll put the 6-pack in there. And also list that down below if you want to see, but I'll do the unveiling of all those canvases in another video. So yeah, anyway, sorry this was all like jerky and all over the place, but like I said, I'm a little out of practice with talking on camera. I got used to just doing the reels for a while. I got all weird talking on camera now, but I'll get back in the flow after a while. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for doing all the things, including liking if you would like it. I would like it. If you would like to give me a like, I would like it. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and we will talk soon-ish. Maybe. Hopefully. Let's see how it goes. All right. Bye, guys.